We are rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen, back from the break to touch into segment 2 on this edition of shows on the hottest form of Alabama football talk. This is In My Own Words, the podcast. Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. And as always, people, you want the best in Crimson Tide football updates. You want to know all things. You want to be the insider of all things Alabama and Nick Saban. We're getting close to the holiday season, the Christmas holidays, and you have not found that app to call your own. Let me introduce you. You got to check out. You have to download the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. Here's why. It's your number one source for all things practice recaps, game recaps, highlights, recruiting, press conferences. You get it all right there. You can check it out via the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, the Google Play Store if you're on Team Android, but treat yourself accordingly. Touchdown Alabama magazine app. In other news, college football playoff has all 4 seeds locked in for the big dance. Congratulations are in order for Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa, Ohio State's Dwayne Haskins, and Oklahoma's Kyler Murray, as all 3 young men will represent their respective programs in New York City on Saturday for the Heisman Memorial Trophy presentation. And a huge kudos to Alabama offensive coordinator Michael Locksley as he becomes the second assistant coach in school history to win the coveted Broyles Award, which goes to college football's top assistant coach. Coach Locks joins Kirby Smart, who won it in 2009 as a member of Nick Saban's coaching staff as a defensive coordinator prior to taking the Georgia job. Also, Coach Locks has accepted a head coaching job at Maryland, but he will finish out the season at Alabama prior to heading to Big Ten country, well, Big Ten/ACC country. So we'll see what happens in the future for Coach Locks and how Alabama will handle its offensive coordinator situation. But kudos to the guys up for the Heisman. Kudos to Coach Locks. College football playoff set in stone here. But we're in the dead portion of the college football season as conference championship games have been played. There's still a bit of recruiting going on. I mean, Nick Saban had an in-house visit with Talia Tagovailoa, the younger brother of Tua, who plays at Thompson High School in Alabaster, just outside of Tuscaloosa. The young man is getting prepared for a Class 7A state title championship game, but he intends to enroll at the University of Alabama in January to start 2019 as he gets ready for spring ball and getting the feel for the nuances of college. So some little bit of recruiting going on as Nick Saban having this in-house visit with Talia. But in the dead period of college football, yet there are always 2 questions that are being asked this time of year. One of those 2 questions: did the College Football Playoff Committee get it right with the 4 seeds it's put into the big picture here? And in years past, in the last 4 years, of course this being the 5th year, we've seen some great national championship games, but not the greatest of semifinal matchups. So hopefully we get some good semifinal matchups where the college football playoff is concerned. The second question in conjunction with the first thought is, who's that team that can challenge Alabama? That's the question that gets the ball rolling. That's the question that has folks calling in the radio stations. That's the straw that stirs the drink. Which team can challenge Alabama? Which team could give Alabama its best game? And which team could possibly have the best chance of upsetting the Crimson Tide? So you have 3 teams in the mix here: Clemson, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame. And I'm going to do a little word association with all 3 teams, kind of give you the scoop on all 3, and which one, in my opinion, has the best chance as a balanced opponent to have a shot at taking out Alabama. So first and foremost, we got the Oklahoma Sooners, champions of the Big 12 under head coach Lincoln Riley and quarterback Kyler Murray. The word association offensively for Oklahoma is juggernaut. This is a team that can put up points at will in bunches, with Lincoln Riley calling the shots, with Kyler Murray pulling the trigger. You got receivers like C.D. Lamb and Marquise Hollywood Brown. This is the type of offense that defensive coordinators wonder, how do we play this? Do we blitz? Do we play in zone? Do we play it safe? Do we be aggressive? How can we attack this offense the best and find a way to limit it? It's a juggernaut of an offense. I mean, Oklahoma right now averaging 49.5 points per game, which is tops in college football. It's totaling 578 yards of offense. That's tops in college football. It's pass efficiency offense. It's got a rating of 200.58. Kyler Murray, 41 touchdown passes to just 7 picks. That's also tops in college football. So offensively, this is a juggernaut team. Defensively for Oklahoma, it's do enough to get by. Oklahoma is not going to full-on stop an opposing offense. Oklahoma doesn't have the means to stop an opposing offense. For the Sooners, they're like that kid in high school, that kid in elementary school that just wants that C. Give me the C to get by. Give me the grade that I can move on to the next level of my life, so to speak. Because with Oklahoma, they feel like if we can trip you up, if we can limit you, if we can get in your way, if we can get a couple of 3-and-outs, we've done what we're supposed to do. That's Oklahoma defensively. They do enough to get by. They only have 28 sacks on the season, 5 of those coming from a freshman, Ronnie Perkins. Their best guy on the team with probably the most experience is Parnell Motley in the secondary, a junior. He's got 3 picks to lead the team. Offensively, Oklahoma, juggernaut. You got to be able to hit your gaps as a defense, play assignment football to be able to just keep up with Kyler Murray and company. Defensively, though, they're doing enough just to get by. Going this now to Clemson, the champions of the Atlantic Coast Conference under Dabo Swinney. Offensively, my word for them is solid. They're not the juggernaut that Oklahoma is, but Clemson's a solid offense. They're totaling 530 yards per game, which is 5th in the country. They put up 45.4 points per game. That's also 5th in the country. Their rushing attack with Travis Etienne, who's a home run hitting explosive back. Tigers averaging 260 yards a game on the ground. That's 10th in the country. Their pass efficiency, the rating is not that great. Just 22nd in the league with a rating of 152.24. But quarterback Trevor Lawrence, a freshman, he doesn't care about a passer rating. He just wants a solid touchdown to interception ratio, which he has at 31-8. Clemson, wide receivers, they're talented. T. Higgins is physical. You got Justin Ross, who at one point in time was being courted by Alabama in the 2018 signing class before making the move to Clemson. Then, of course, there's Hunter Renfrow, who's probably on his 9-year master's degree program. I mean, this kid has been at Clemson longer than the Watergate administration, but Hunter Renfrow still there, still making plays. So Clemson, offensively, solid. Defensively, this is a very, very, very elite bunch with that front 7 they have of Wilkins, Watkins, Farrell, Kendall Joseph, that are all first-round picks of the National Football League draft is concerned. Clemson, under defensive coordinator Brent Venables, giving up 277 yards a game. That's 4th in college football. They're giving up 13.7 points. That's tied for 2nd in the nation. Their run defense, solid, giving up 93 yards a game. That's 3rd in college football. Their pass efficiency defense, strong. 11 touchdowns allowed. They've picked off 9 passes. As far as sacks, oh baby, 45 sacks, 3rd in the country. Clemson defensively, they're elite. They get after the quarterback. They can shut down the run. Their secondary at times can be a bit suspect, but that front 7 knows how to bail you out of ball games and keep you in situations to win. So offensively for Clemson, solid. Defensively, they're elite. In terms of Notre Dame, under head coach Brian Kelly, this is the team that everybody looks at as the cupcake of the 3, but this is the program that you might want to keep both eyes on, ladies and gentlemen. Notre Dame, offensively, they are very much improved. I like to compare Notre Dame's offense to the 2016 USC team under Clay Helton. Remember in 2016, Southern California Trojans started the year off with Max Brown at quarterback, and they were horrible, atrocious, bad, pathetic, lethargic, could not move the football. Trojans started off at 1-3 on the year. They made the switch over to Sam Darnold, 5th game of the season, and like a rocket, team took off. Won 9 straight games with Sam Darnold, including the 52-49 win against Penn State in one of the more epic Rose Bowls in the history of the venue. When I look at Notre Dame, the exact same thing. With Brandon Wimbush at quarterback, lethargic, pedestrian, one-dimensional, couldn't move the football. Ever since the Irish have made the move to in-book, they're a whole lot better. In-book, completing 70.4%. That's 197 of 280 passes completed for 2,468 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 picks. Ever since Ian Book has taken over, he's brought balance to the offense, and he's allowed for Dexter Williams at running back to be a monster. Williams, 941 yards rushing. He's got 12 touchdowns. Notre Dame, under Brian Kelly, very much so improved offensively. On defense, this is an underrated bunch. Notre Dame, they give up a lot of yards. 332 yards per game allowed by the Irish. That's 22nd in the country. They give up a lot of yards, but they are very stingy in terms of points. 17.3 points per game allowed, 9th in college football. They're stingy when it comes to the red zone. They're stingy when it comes to giving up points. Their pass efficiency defense, 4th in college football, giving up a rating of 100.83. They've picked off 12 passes. They only give up 7 touchdowns. Despite only having 31 sacks, 19.5 of the Fighting Irish's 31 sacks at 63% comes from its defensive front. Jerry Tillery has 8 sacks, to lead the team. And then you have Julian Okara, who's got 7 sacks. Khalid Kareem has got 4.5. So defensively, they know how to get after the quarterback on that front line. In the secondary, we're looking at Jalen Elliott, who leads the team with 4 interceptions. And Tavon Coney has 107 tackles at linebacker. The kid's a tackling machine. So defensively, they're underrated. Offensively for the Irish, they are very much improved. And this could be the team that could give Alabama the most problems due to the balance of Notre Dame, due to the completeness somewhere of Notre Dame. When you look at Oklahoma, Oklahoma can score at will. But with Tua Tagovailoa, should he be fully healthy to go in this football game coming off the ankle surgery, Alabama can run with Oklahoma because of Tua. Defensively for the Sooners, can they hang with Alabama's offense and slow down Tua? That's the big-time question there. When you look at Clemson, defensively, they're elite, but offensively with Trevor Lawrence, true freshman, this is his first time in the college football playoff. Can he handle the creatures known as Christian Miller, Anthony Jennings, Mack Wilson, Dylan Moses, Isaiah Buggs, Quinnen Williams, Raekwon Davis? Can he handle all of those guys coming at him at once? First time in this environment. Clemson, something to think about there. So when you look at Notre Dame, they are balanced attack, offensively very much improved, defensively underrated. We'll see what happens as we're getting the chance here to look at these teams in terms of the college football playoff. Semifinal start Saturday, December 29th. Taking our final break here on In My Own Words. When we get back, we look at the Heisman for this Saturday, for this weekend. Will it look like the 2005 Heisman race as it ended up? Will it be massive motivation or massive recruiting tool for Nick Saban? Don't touch that dial, folks. We're coming back to In My Own Words.